recording for the lecture 8. So, these are the things which we have already covered till now in this internship. We have done overview of speech signal spectrogram feature extraction in the first few lectures, and then we studied how we can prepare our own data set using this ILSL chart and IPA chart also using Elan and Audacity. Then we implemented ASR using different open source framework. Like we tried Wave to Whisper for both Indian and non-Indian languages. We also studied how we can use Hugging Face, create tokens. And in the last lecture, we saw uh, how we can do transfer learning or how we can do fine tuning of a model for low resource languages. So these are the things which we have already covered. In today's lecture, we will see how we can fine tune a whisper on a Hindi data set. So the question which should come to your mind is that why we are fine tuning it on a Hindi data set, because Hindi is already a major language, right? So the answer for this question is that suppose you want to build an application of an of Hindi on some subset of Hindi, maybe like a regional accent of an Hindi, or you want to study like you want to build an application which is not on generic Hindi, but on like medical Hindi, where there are some terms which are special to to the application, or something like a legal or a parliamentary Hindi. So these are not generic Hindi, but some smaller application of a mainstream Hindi language. So in this case, even if we use the generic Hindi model, our model will work very nicely. But if we fine tune it on a smaller data set with words from this specific application, the model will behave in a much better way. So that is the whole purpose of fine tuning a model on a smaller Hindi subset, which is application specific. So this was the whole idea of learning this application. So then we went to uh, this collab window where we created a new notebook and with the heading as fine tuning whisper for Hindi for application specific tasks. So most of the steps are same. Like we did the logging in, right? Then we install the library. So I will share this collab notebook link so that you can follow this link step by step. Then we are using a common voice Hindi data set, and then we basically regroup both training and testing data under this same data set. And then we removed the unwanted columns because common voice has lot of other fields associated with the data set which we don't need. We need only the labels, so we just removed everything else. Then, as we have done for the last fine tuning, we created a feature tokenizer. So, one thing which you should take notice is that we are not creating a new dictionary or a tokenizer. We are not defining a new tokenizer. We are already reusing an existing tokenizer because we are not dealing with any new language. We are dealing with the existing Hindi language. So, we are importing all the tokenizer from this existing language. Then we can check a sample data set, how it looks like. And then we create a processor by combining the feature extractor and the tokenizer. Then we resample it. Then we run this prepared data set function, which basically segregate the features and the labels, and we apply it to the data set. And then we load the model. We load the OpenAI Whisper small model, and we inform the model that we are using which language. So we are just identifying it with the generation and the config task and the language. We are identifying it. Similar to the last experiment, we defined a data collator, which basically create our data in the format which the model can train on. So this is the whole purpose of this code. Then we initialize the collator. Then we initialize the metrics like word error rate metrics, and we define how we can compute the word error rate by comparing the predicted string and the ground truth, the label string. And finally, we define the training argument with all these parameters, and we define the trainer. And then once we start the training, So the model will start training, but that this will need at least 5 to 6 hours. So, and then we can also save our model once it is trained. So the next question is, once the model is trained, how you can evaluate it. So then comes the second part where we are dealing with the evaluation of the model. So we are loading an existing trained model like Whisper Small Hindi, right? And then we are creating a GUI where once you run this GUI, you will get a prompt to upload a file, and then once you upload the file, you can submit it and you will get the output. So I will share two things with you guys. I'll share the notebook link so that you can refer this notebook, and you can also run this line by line. And I will also share one reference link, right? So I'll share both of them and try to run this. If you are having any problem in any way, then you can ask me separately. So this was the end of the tools which we have learned. In the next lecture, we are going to understand what kind of application or project we can do from whatever things we have learned till date. And we are meeting on Wednesday for any doubt or any revision which if anybody wanted to have. So I'm ending this lecture. So I will share the link of this video. I will share the link of the notebook. I will share the link of the reference material.